you guys been watching the Jordan documentary?
I have. It's been sweet.
It's really good.
Really?
I saw it.
Like, it's so good.
Need to watch it.
Speaking of so good, I think it's about time that I play my favorite song in the whole entire world and we get this thing going.
I think
Here
so.
we go.
Cargo Shorts Boys Podcast Fun.
It's the Cargo Shorts Boys Podcast.
Love that. Love that song. Welcome, friends, family, and random people on the internet to the Cargo Shorts Boys Podcast. This is going to be released on Tuesday, April 28th, 2020. Thank you for joining us, all 42 of you, according to Joey's statistics. Today, for your listening pleasure, we have This Week in the News, a hot take from Jack, a new segment called Music Theory, a script read-off in which we retell the story of the most important day of Joey's life, and plenty of witty banter. But before we get to all of that, let's introduce the rest of the boys. Joining me, as always, we have the magnificent Minnesotan, the soon-to-be birthday boy, a man who's never seen two weird patterns he wouldn't wear together, and the only guy I know who does curls with his arms and his hair, Samuel Ness.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, happy early birthday to Samuel Ness.
Yes.
Birthday tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
The man, the myth.
Yeah.
29th. 28th.
28.
Close
Okay.
enough.
I can't remember what today was.
The big 1-9, right?
Mm-hmm.
Noise.
We're old.
Officially 1 year older than a legal adult.
Dang.
True.
Pretty interesting. All right, over there we have the jack of all jingles, a connoisseur of cats, the man who belly flops with no thought of his own safety, and as of last Tuesday, officially the fastest 400 runner in all of Colorado, Mr. Luke Arnold.
Yeah.
What is up, Gmail?
Speed, baby.
We are in the presence of Colorado track royalty right now. Pretty awesome. Up next, there's our ambassador of audio and viscount of video, Lord of the Lax Bros, a guy who peaked when he went to the Kids' Choice Awards in 2011, and our favorite flat-chested friend, Joey Rasmussen.
What is up, 42 listeners?
Oh, yeah. I just guessed on 2011. Is that like ballpark the right year?
What, the Kids' Choice Awards?
Yeah.
It was 2008.
Oh,
It was,
wow, you were
it was
young.
when I was in kindergarten.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
That's
Jack
lit.
Black was the host. It was really lit.
Yo.
was?
Yeah. It was sick.
No, who? I didn't hear it.
Jablinski.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yo.
gotta love that. And finally, we have a man who always stands up for himself, no matter how ridiculous the opinion. A man with the music taste of a 13-year-old girl, a guy who just can't seem to finish a TV show and once had an ice cream date with Selena Gomez in his imagination. It's Jack Casper.
Thank you. The Dua Lipa song slaps.
What?
Yeah.
Well, you said taste of a 13-year-old girl, so I just figured I'd reinforce it.
I was more thinking about the Khalid Post Malone type stuff.
Oh, that works too. That
There's
works too.
nothing wrong with Post Malone.
I don't know. I
13-year-old girls do enjoy Post Malone. We'll just leave it at that.
do. Yes. Thank you, Joey. I appreciate that. I still can't believe that we're continuing to do this. This feels so weird to me.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, dude, me
Yeah.
too. Luke, tell me about the origins of that gamer mic there.
This is my little stepbrother's. It's actually really
Nice.
cozy. It fits really nicely around the ears, and the mic sticks out at the perfect angle so you can speak. It's just a quality gamer mic. If I knew what model it was, I would recommend it, but I know nothing about gaming equipment, so sorry.
I don't know anything about gaming, period. I'm very bad at the video wagos.
Sadly, yes.
So, Sam, your birthday coming up. What are you looking forward to most about being 19?
I don't know. Being older, I guess.
Nice.
Being older
That
than
is one
everybody.
thing to look forward to.
Yeah.
1 year closer to being 20.
There you go.
Big
Dude,
facts.
Jackson's
Big facts.
birthday is also this week. He's going to be 18.
That's
yeah.
true.
You're 18.
I'm 18.
Then
Well,
you
not right
will
now.
be.
You get to play the Khalid song 18 on your 18th birthday.
Oh, dude, yes, I love Khalid. He's totally my favorite.
This speaks.
There you go.
Yeah, no, for the audio, that's sarcasm. I think Khalid is for basic people, and I don't really like him very much. That's my it's my Jackson hot take of the week.
Even though it's not a hot take at all.
Is it not? All right. You know what?
Say
Speaking
medium rare take, maybe.
medium rare. Okay. So I scorched the outside a little bit, but the inside is nice and tender.
Mm-hmm. Nice and pink.
Oh yeah, gotta love that. Joey, how's life in the basement?
It's doing good. Just being it's like the Bat Cave, you know. Just come down here, chill, have a Batmobile. I don't, but I wish I did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Jack, how are you doing?
You know, man, we're doing pretty swell. It's a nice day outside.
It is. It's a beautiful day.
Go do something.
All right. Speaking of doing something, I think it's probably time for our next segment, This Week in the News.
This week in the news. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Alrighty. This Week in the News is up now. Our weekend update style segment about what's happening around the world, told in horrible jokes and pun form by yours truly. Alrighty, let's get it started. Let me find the background that I need.
Oh boy.
Got it.
Yes.
Oh.
A British man, sick of his wife nagging him, built a bathtub for his bride in the scooping mechanism of a bulldozer. Unfortunately, the husband forgot the drain, so he was forced to dump his wife out the dozer, wine glass and all.
Hey.
Heyo.
For the audio listeners who can't see, Jackson has a background of a woman sitting in a what is that, bulldozer?
It's a bulldozer.
Bulldozer filled with water with a woman with a drink sitting in there.
Yeah. Holding up a nice little wine glass. She's having a grand old time. Alrighty. A father convinced his children using a fake letter that school would be reopened 7 days a week after the coronavirus pandemic ended. The good news is the Eighth Amendment prohibits the use of cruel and unusual punishment.
Oh.
They were able to see right through the lies. It's a joke for government people.
Government jokes, dude.
Government jokes, you gotta love them. The quality of these is steadily declining over the course of them. Over the course of the weeks. The New York City Police Department rescued a man that looked like Bigfoot from a kayak. You know what they say about foot size directly correlates to the likelihood that you find yourself stranded on an island outside of Queens.
I have heard that.
Yeah, it's a frequent sentiment that I hear pretty frequently. Yeah. A Florida man appeared shirtless for a session of court held over Zoom. No shirt, no shoes, no objections here, Your Honor.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Gosh, do you know what the verdict was?
I have no clue. I've literally just there was a big thing about a judge in Florida who was had to do a PSA and was like, guys, please keep being professional. Apparently there was a guy attorney that showed up shirtless. There was a woman attorney that showed up without pants on. So that
Florida,
was
man.
Florida's pretty.
Florida man.
That's really
Florida, comma, man.
Experience for Florida, honestly.
Pretty ridiculous. But yeah, I have no idea what the actual case was about. And finally, a truck filled with toilet paper caught fire on a Texas interstate. When asked for a description of the incident, a local Texan stated, "Yeehaw! How about that there TP fire, fellas?" and shot a 6-shooter into the air while square dancing and drinking sweet tea.
I can imagine that being you, just probably 10 years out.
Oh, I would love to do that. That would be great. Square dancing, I mean.
Yeah, square dancing.
Of course.
The official dance of Colorado.
Is it really?
It is. That's like the state dance.
Because
Did you
Colorado's square shaped.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Maybe.
No, I think that's
Shout out
definitely
to
it.
Daniel Ulibarri. Did you guys know that he can swing dance really well with his girlfriend?
Huh.
Swing
I just
dancing.
imagine them going to the club and just popping it out.
I think you have
like the Grizzly Rose.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I don't know what
thing.
kind of clubs you're going to, but I don't know that square dancing is really encouraged or swing dancing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Did you guys ever do like square dancing in elementary school?
Yes. We did it like
I don't
once.
remember.
Though. It wasn't like a big thing.
I feel like you always hear stories about like people having huge square dance units in school, but I like never did.
We had like a little one.
units.
I feel like it's a classic sitcom situation, but like I've never been in it myself.
Yeah. It's like the sitcom bit where like, oh no, but it's like I have to square dance with my brother. Crazy. Yeah, because that's how sitcoms work. I'm going to be a sitcom writer when I grow up.
Yeah, that's pretty
Like
fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Alrighty. Up next, we have Jack's Hot Takes.
That's a spicy meatball!
Watch out, everybody. The potato's really hot.
We're burning alive!
Jack's Hot Takes.
Jack's Hot Takes, a segment where Jack provides an opinion he has and defends it, while the rest of the guys try to convince him to change his stance. Jack, what is the hot take this week?
Well, seeing as the medical sort of side of things went so well first week, we're going to keep on the trend. Now, I was sitting at a restaurant, right? And a waiter came up to me and goes, "Sir, what would you like to drink? We have everything you could ever imagine here at this restaurant." I would say, "Sir, if you so mind, I would love an emergency." And that is my drink of choice.
That is ludicrous.
Emergency.
Yes, sir.
Why emergency? Why is that your favorite?
Well, see, you get the best of both worlds. Number one, this baby's got a lot of vitamin C, maybe even zinc and vitamin D if you buy the right packets. And number two, it tastes really good.
What flavor are you rocking?
Gosh, raspberry.
Okay.
Dude, I can't do emergency, dude. I was sick for like
That's
a couple
because your
weeks.
mom always buys the tangerine ones, and they're terrible.
Yeah, tangerine emergency is A, gross, and B, did not help me at all, and I was sick for like 3 weeks. And B, raspberry is not even that good of a flavor either. Like, you get so sick of it, and you have to put so much into the water to get any flavor at all.
No. See, here's the thing. Everyone tries to put a bunch in to get all this flavor. All you need is one of the King Soopers purified drinking water, little bottles, classic, and then you put in one packet, and it's the perfect taste.
That's just like, I feel like the only reason you should ever be drinking emergency is to get rid of a cough, and it barely even like works for that. I just think it's so gross and powdery tasting. And
Yeah, sometimes I think the whole like it helps you when you're sick might be a myth. Because I could pound those things and still just be just as sick.
So, let me get this straight.
Yeah.
You're on a romantic date with something realistic, Selena Gomez.
Right.
And you take her to, I don't know, a really fancy restaurant. Like
Red Lobster.
Yeah, Red Lobster, the fanciest restaurant in the world.
Correct.
Yep.
You're like, "My dear Selena, welcome to this date." And she's like, "Thank you, I'm honored." And, you're clicking, you're having a great time. The waiter comes over and asks, "Hello, what would you guys like to drink?" Selena says, "Oh, I'll just have a water," because, she doesn't drink Coke. She has to watch her figure as a celebrity. And Jack, you would choose an emergency.
Now, if Selena Gomez was truly the one, she would sit there and go, that's stupid, but that's cute.
I can't decide if that's better or worse than the patented James Costrita move of ordering a Red Bull.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, for people who don't know us, our friend James ordered a Red Bull at our prom dinner, and it was like the funniest thing ever.
He ordered
I think either way, it's an ultimate power move,
He ordered a filet mignon and a Red Bull.
And
And I feel like
sushi too. They never brought it.
I
I
feel
would
like this is
100% order like an emergency and then order something really fancy. Like
I
give me
just-
your New York strip.
that's like not a good like pairing though. That's so
Yeah.
Dude,
you
you
gotta-
can
Not
pair
want to eat
anything
steak
with emergency.
emergency.
No, you can't. Are you
Yes,
kidding
you
me?
can.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, I'm going to be
Give me one-
completely honest. I think this is Jack's by far least insane hot take. I
You're
think
a-
emergencies
Really?
slap. Yeah.
Yes, Luke.
I don't
Okay.
buy it, dude. I feel
Look,
like
Here's the thing. I like emergency. Pomegranate is beautiful. That's like my favorite emergency. I know.
haven't tried it.
It's pretty good.
I gotta go get it.
But anyway, I will never drink emergency at a restaurant, though. That's what he's saying. He's saying he's going to order emergency with lobster with Selena Gomez. That would never be a scenario that would come into my mind.
That's true.
Imagine you're just eating your bread, right? And while you eat your bread, you pop the emergency simultaneously and you get a little mixture of flavors.
dude, you won't even mix foods of the same temperature, and now you're saying I'm going to mix my tangerine emergency with bread?
Good point. Good point.
It just seems disgusting. And I feel like it's such a like a cheap, crappy drink. Like I feel like something that's really like a really nice drink, like a drink you would get from like a bartender or something, has to be like mixed up. And I feel like there's something so cheap about like, hi, can you please like take great care to grill me a delicious steak and also make sure that you don't spill any of the powder as you're pouring this vitamin C powder into my King Soopers water bottle. That just feels so gross and like it cheapens the
Gross.
whole experience of eating.
No, man. No, man. That's part of the magic.
Part of
The
the
best feeling is when you get to shake that bottle and then you open it for the first time.
Okay. It does make a really fun hissing sound when you
Yes.
open up and all the carbonation rushes out. I do appreciate that.
Correct. See, that's the other
However-
thing. The drink's got a little bit of carbonation to it, a little kick. You know what I mean?
whole cake.
Little
Okay.
bump in your, I don't know.
Although same thing, I feel like that's like going to like a steakhouse and like just cracking open a can of Coke. Just be like, all right, here we go. Like I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to get my fancy on.
I mean, not wrong.
Sam, how do you feel about emergency?
I've never had it because
What?
yeah, I just don't like it, and I hate powder stuff. And if I'm sick, I'm rather gonna have like a nice tea, put some honey in there, and like I'd rather have something delectable than.
You're too
Wow.
granola,
He's a
Sam.
man of class.
Thank you.
Jack,
Exactly,
one
so-
time
Go,
one time
Luke.
I was at a restaurant and I was my throat was pretty sore.
Yeah.
So what I did is I ordered a water, poured emergency in that thing. I think if your throat's sore, I'd agree with you, Jack, but I wouldn't have emergency for the taste alone.
Yeah.
Do you think would you do that, Jack? Would you go for taste alone?
100%.
Okay, that's where it's wrong. That's where the hot take
It's
comes
like
in.
it's like if a juice box was kind of fizzy and actually was super beneficial, and then you got emergency.
Like sparkling cider.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
I don't know if I
no,
feel
that's
the
the
Yes.
exact opposite, Sam.
Yes, Sam.
That's what he should do instead of the
Yeah, that's what I'm.
the emergency.
No, they're pretty
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You
interchangeable.
should drink sparkling cider instead of powdered junk.
I bet I could throw a birthday bash, and instead of having cider, I have emergency, and you guys wouldn't tell a difference.
Okay, we definitely tell it.
I would 100%. You said you liked raspberry emergency. How would we not be able to tell a
Oh, it's
difference?
sparkling cider. Like raspberry flavored.
I could find an apple flavor.
I don't know. Do they? I don't think they
that.
do flavors like that. Look, the point is, it's a ridiculously like it'll help you in a sore throat some of the time, but you should not order it for flavor alone. It's just absolutely trashy, and I don't want my waiters to be pouring things into pouring packets into my water. That's just weird, and I don't like it.
Look,
Are we all in
man,
agreement?
final
Good,
word here.
great, grand, wonderful. Time for our next segment, music theory.
Music theory, 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 music theory. Oh, because it's like music theory, that's already a thing. And it's our theory about the music. Oh my gosh, that's clever. Who thought of that?
Clever, clever indeed. Again, thank you to Luke for all of our new jingles. Every time a new one, we have a new one. He's the man that we have to thank. All right, music theory. Music theory is a segment where we take lyrics from a popular song that seem complicated and boil them down to look at their basic themes and storylines. We compile lots of data. We've looked at interviews with the artist, and we use deductive reasoning to tell you what the artist is really saying. Today's song is Toothbrush by DNCE, or as I like to call them, Dunce. If you have not heard the song, there is a link in the podcast description. Go ahead and pause, listen to Toothbrush. It's a great song, and when you're done with that, come back. I'm gonna pause for you to do that right now. We're pausing. We're still pausing, and we're gonna pause. And okay, that's it. We're glad you're back. It's good to have you guys. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. All right, DNCE Toothbrush. Luke, why don't you start us out?
All right, I'm just gonna start out with the chorus. I'll read it to you. Baby, you don't have to rush. You can leave a toothbrush at my place, at my place. We don't need to keep it hush. You can leave a toothbrush at my place, at my place. I think from the start, it's pretty obvious what this song is about. A friendship between two boys. So we actually did some research, some digging. We found out that Joe Jonas, is that the right Jonas brother?
Yes.
Okay, good. Mike is the name of his best friend. And doing some deductive reasoning, we could figure out that he has a hearing problem, hence the repetition of the phrase, at my place. So if we were to like simulate this conversation, it probably went something like this. You don't have to rush. You can leave a toothbrush at my place. At my
What?
place!
Oh, okay, at your place. Thanks.
Mhm. Mike needs a place to stay. And Joe tells him, take all the time you need, dude. You can stay at my place. Yeah, so you can leave your toothbrush. Next time you sleep over, you'll have it nice and handy. And, there's some controversy, like, why would you call your best friend baby? And my personal take is that Joe kind of plays like the role of an older brother to Mike, who is his
Yeah.
baby brother, hence baby.
That makes sense to me.
This is I'm just gonna say this right off the bat. This is exclusive stuff that you're hearing right here. There's gonna be a lot of like if you'll look at like Genius or whatever or like any of those lyric sites, they're gonna tell you the obvious thing, but we're looking behind the scenes. We're gonna tell you the stories about Mike and Joe Jonas. We're gonna really bring you in deep. And so that's what this is all about. Jack, why don't you talk about verse 1 and what's happening in verse 1?
Yeah, for sure.
What's going on?
So verse 1, we'll read it real quick. Stuck in a limbo, half hypnotized. Each time I let you stay the night. Stay the night. Up in the morning, tangled in sheets. We play the moment on repeat. On repeat. So the line I really want to focus on here is each time no, that's not right at all. Up in the morning, tangled in sheets. Now, we thought about this long and hard. What might this mean for their friendship? And we have a good guess. We think that they hung out and this was kind of just a throwback and kind of a thing to pay homage to their old days of making forts. And so they made a fort in their house or apartment or whatever mansion they're staying in. And each time they woke up in the morning, the fort would crash and they'd be tangled in those sheets. Also, we want to point out that just being stuck in a limbo and half hypnotized, Joe really is growing in his friendship with Mike, and it's truly an intoxicating love for him. And each time they hang out, that bond just grows stronger. So that's verse 1. Thank you.
Verse 1, awesome. I think we can really see the friendship blooming and blossoming between these two, Joe Jonas and Mike. Who did we ever learn Mike's last name?
I don't think so.
No, we'll just call
I
him
think it
Mike.
was
It was something with a D.
Wazowski.
I saw it, but I don't remember what his name is.
Sam, I appreciated that joke. We'll call him Mike Wazowski. All right. I'm
Lisa.
Delacia. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
that's his name. We'll just call him Mike
Very
Wazowski, though.
Yeah, Mike Wazowski is better. All right. I'm going to move us into the pre-chorus segment of this song. The pre-chorus goes, when you're standing there in your underwear and my t-shirt from the night before, with your messed up hair and your feet still bare, would you mind closing the bedroom door? So there's a lot of people who are going to take the really obvious approach of this and be like, oh, this is a girl. But that's not true. We've already established that this is Joe and Mike having a sleepover. So clearly what's happening right now is Mike's getting ready for bed. He's changing into his PJs, right? Because Joe's singing the song. So let's move through the night because this is told a little bit out of order. So first, his messed up hair and his feet still bare. So what happens is Mike, he's just kind of a messy guy. He'll run his hands through his hair and he'll mess his hair up. That's just the way he is. It's the way he styles it. It's the way he likes it.
Classic Mike.
Classic Mike. And then the bare feet, that would be just so a lot of houses, including the house that Joe Jonas lives in, they have kind of strict rules about, let's take our shoes off before we enter so we can keep the carpets nice and clean. We don't want to track mud through the house or anything. That's not what we want. So he's just taking his shoes off to follow the Jonas family guidelines. Another question mark of like, wait, are we sure this is Mike? What if this is a girl? And my t-shirt from the night before. So this is actually really easily explained. What happened was they had gone to Buffalo Wild Wings the night before, and Mike had gotten a little bit of sauce on his shirt. He had a white shirt and he stained some buffalo sauce on it. So he's like, man, I look like a fool. I don't like wearing this shirt anymore. And Joe, being a good friend, he's like, hey Mike, don't even worry about it, dude. We're heading back to my house. I can get you a new shirt that you can wear. It's totally cool. And then finally we get to the part last in the night where he's standing there in his underwear. And obviously, like, Joe doesn't want to see Mike in his underwear, that's a private moment that Mike is having where he's changing into his PJs. So he's like, whoa, Mike, like, you're in your underwear, man. Would you mind closing the bedroom door for me so I can't see you, so I can give you some privacy there? So this is really a difficult segment to reason through, but hopefully we can see from this that this is still a story of a sleepover between two friends and not anything remotely about relationships. So first after that we head into the chorus again, which Luke discussed. And then after that we move into verse 2 with Joey.
Verse 2 is very robust. So we're just going to dive into what it actually says, and then we're going to exegetically look at it. Verse 2, no need to question next time we meet. I know you're coming home with me. Home with me! Hearing problem again. Sweat like a sauna, break up the ice. I know you're going to stay the night. Stay the night! His hearing problem is really, it's really a problem. All right. So what does verse 2 mean? So as Jackson touched on, they had a trip with the boys to Buffalo Wild Wings. And while they're there, Joe and Mike are just so stoked that Mike is going to spend the night. And they just can't wait for it. And when they get there, what do other than play Wii Sports boxing? And that's what gets them sweating like a sauna, because you know them. And if you've ever played Wii Sports boxing, you don't ever just go halfway. You go all the way. And
all
you
in.
Sweat.
Mm-hmm.
And then break up the ice. Like, what does that mean? That could be a little confusing. But we did a lot of research, and we found out that Joe actually had an ice sculpture of the bonus Jonas, Frankie Jonas. He had an ice sculpture of him right next to his TV. And then Mike, being the bad boy that he is, he forgets to wear the protective strap on the Wii, like an idiot. And the remote flies off when he goes to make a boxing move, and it smashes into the ice sculpture of Frankie Jonas. Coincidentally, this ice sculpture was actually the only evidence that Frankie Jonas actually exists. So we're still not even sure if he's real to this day. But Joe forgives him. Mike and him start having fun again, and they have so much they have so much fun playing Wii Sports, and Joe knows they're going to have so much fun for the rest of their sleepover. So that's what verse 2 means.
That's true. All right. So after that verse 2, we've got the pre-chorus, which was my little bit about Mike changing into his PJs. We have the chorus, which is just kind of the theme of the whole story that Luke touched on, of like, hey, you can stick around a while, you can leave a toothbrush for the next time you sleep over. After that, we've got the post-chorus. The post-chorus is going to be covered by Samuel, the post-chorus and the bridge.
That's right. So in the post-chorus, it says, I just can't let you go. Give me something I've never known. So baby, you don't have to rush. You can leave your toothbrush at my place. At my place. So basically, what Dins is trying to say here is that Joe is just so stoked about how much fun he's having with his best mate, Mike. They're just hanging out with Mike all the time. And Joe wants Mike to be his roommate, and just live with him forever. Not forever, ever, but like for a pretty long time forever. So they can just always hang out together and be best friends. And then some people have been skeptical about giving him something he'd never known. They're not sure what that means, but in an interview, Joe actually said that he's never had a roommate before, and he wanted Mike to be his first because he's never known the feeling of having a great roommate. And so Mike was his first roommate. And then we head into the bridge, and the bridge says, I don't want this to end, and there's no need to play pretend. If you stay with me again, would you mind closing the bedroom door? All right, so the bridge is just Joe loves that Mike is staying with him, and he just is having a great time with him. Don't need to pretend that they live together anymore because they are roommates now. And there's a great time together, and it's all good, and they don't need to keep it hush or they can just stay together like every night, stay with each other again. The last one, closing the bedroom door, Mike needs to learn his lesson about closing the door when it changes. No one wants to see that cake by the ocean. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Yeah,
Big facts.
Insightful.
All right. So just to recap the whole story as a whole. So we start with Mike and Joe knowing that they're about to have a sleepover, right? And they're super stoked. So they start by going to Buffalo Wild Wings. There's a stain that gets on Mike's shirt, so he borrows one of Joe's. Once they get back to the Jonas place, Mike and Joe both take off their shoes and they head downstairs for a night of fun. They're building forts, they're getting tangled in sheets. They're playing Wii Sports boxing. There was a little accident with an ice sculpture of Frankie Jonas. We don't know if he even exists now because all of the evidence has been destroyed. Eventually, they get tired of all this fort building and Wii Sports boxing. So they decide, you know what? We got to hit the hay. Mike starts changing into his PJs, but like a dummy, Mike left the door open. So Joe's just really uncomfortable with that, and he has to. Joe's just really uncomfortable with that. He has to tell him like, "Whoa, Mike, would you mind closing the bedroom door? Like, hey, buddy, like, you gotta stay decent here." And then after that, Joe's just kind of laying in his bed and he's thinking like, "Man, I can't wait to have Mike as my roommate. Like, I've never known the feeling of having a roommate before. I'm super stoked about it." And the song just kind of ends hopeful that he's going to have a roommate and that Mike's going to be able to leave his toothbrush there at Joe's place so he can just come over whenever he wants, Did I get everything? I think we pretty much nailed the exact meaning of that song.
Yeah. And
Beautiful
if
message.
anyone out there thinks that Toothbrush by Dins is about a premarital sexual relationship,
Oh my gosh.
like,
Game
not
over.
even close. Joe Jonas would never do that. It is about two bros having the time of their life. And that is why it's one of my favorite songs.
Dude,
That's right.
Absolutely.
Just
This
beautiful.
is a great song. So, speaking of the Jonas Brothers were in Camp Rock. You know who else was in Camp Rock?
Demi
Demi Lovato.
Lovato.
And that leads to our next segment, the script read-off.
Script read off.
Line.
Noise. Love that. Great song. Awesomeness. Sweet, sweet little guitar solo at the end. All right. Our final segment of the day is the script read-off. If you know Joey, you know that his go-to fun fact about himself is that he met Demi Lovato in a Walmart. Now, that's always the exact words that Joey uses. He always says, I met Demi Lovato in a Walmart. Nobody has ever attempted to learn the full details of this story until today. Today, everybody except Joey will be attempting to tell the story of the time that Joey met Demi Lovato, how that came to be, what happened on that day, and all that good stuff. So, there's if we can find a way to put sweet dramatic music in the background and post, let's do it. If not, Joey, we still love you, man. You're great. You're a great editor. So,
Thank you. I will try and find a way.
All right, Jack, why don't you start it out?
I want to start by saying if I laugh, I apologize. Here we go. It was a dark, stormy night, 1 year before D-Day. D-Day, of course, being the day that Joey would meet Demi Lovato. From that day forward, he would tell the story of how he met Demi Lovato in a Walmart. It would sound like a coincidence. Oh, but it was anything but. Joey had been brainstorming this thing for months. He had picked Demi for 2 reasons. First, she had starred in Camp Rock, easily Joey's third favorite Disney Channel original movie, right behind True Confessions, starring Shia LaBeouf and Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire. Second, she had black hair and blue eyes, just like Joey's first celebrity crush, Luke Wilson. Joey was determined to meet the Disney Channel heroine. How would he accomplish such a tremendous feat, you might ask? Like any other ex-Disney star he has lured in, Xbox catfishing. Joey had experience. Joey once manipulated Debbie Ryan into bungee jumping off of the Denver Mint. He hypnotized Selena Gomez into representing him in court and facing 16 different charges of tax fraud. He once convinced Charlie Duncan to meet him at a Buffalo Wild Wings in Santa Fe wearing nothing but a blue flamingo costume that was rejected from Katy Perry's halftime show performance. Demi Lovato was no Charlie Duncan. She was more mature, more cunning, more aware of scammers. It might have been because she was paranoid. It might just have been because she was nearly 15 years older than Charlie Duncan, knew how the world worked a little better than she did.
Whatever the case, it was clear that this Disney Channel heroine would not be a walk in the park. So Joey went to the playbook. He knew he needed to pull out all the stops. He decided upon the gamer tag XX_HunterFisherBodybuilder_XX. It sounded masculine, and since Demi Lovato was a woman, he knew that she would be attracted to the testosterone wafting off such a manly gamer tag. Traditionally, one might think that the female girl heroines such as Demi Lovato would play games like Littlest Pet Shop and Animal Crossing, but Joseph had experience. He knew better. He found Debbie Ryan in World of Warcraft. Selena Gomez was hooked on Watch Dogs. Charlie Duncan would play Call of Duty and yell racial slurs when she was killed by Claymore landmines. The rich and famous have dark tastes in video games. Keeping this in mind, he went straight for Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Our young hero began his scheme by periodically changing his voice to match that of various characters from the animated TV show Family Guy. He would frequently visit all the locations of the fictitious fast food restaurants, Falafel to Go, in search for his next victim. Eventually, he stumbled upon the diamond in the rough, the needle in the haystack. That was Unicorn Slayer XO, Demi Lovato. It didn't come where he was expecting it. As Joey was exiting the financial building where he meets with his financial manager every week for updates on his GTA stocks, he immediately recognized the Camp Rock body wrap only Demi Lovato would have done on her car. Once Joey revealed his Stewie Griffin impressions and custom backyardigan skin, our Disney heroine was hooked on Joey.
secure his place in Demi's heart, Joey bent the truth slightly in his favor. Specifically, he claimed to own a full-size badminton court and have 97% control over the Virgin Islands economy. The virtual power couple would spend long days and nights chatting and gaming, taking breaks only to use the bathroom, consume grilled cheese, and occasionally remove fungus and other mysterious growths from underneath their eyelids. He eventually popped the question. He asked if she would marry him, and she immediately said no. He'd been exploited. His cover was blown. He had to wait 6 months in order to change his gamer tag so he didn't have to pay money. Eventually, he clawed his way back with the new Backyardigan skin, a fresh new Adam Sandler impersonation, and a new motive. Joey knew Demi's gamer tag by heart. Or more accurately, he permanently tattooed it onto his left calf using the DIY kit he found on eBay. After returning from a 7-hour anger management seminar one night, Joey swallowed 44 gallons of Mountain Dew and finally found the courage to send Demi Lovato another friend request. They were reunited, and he finally popped the new question. Joey asked her to meet him at a Walmart in Denver, and more importantly, to bring a signed CD he could cherish forever. Demi complied without hesitation. After all, she had already planned to be in Boulder signing CDs in the unisex bathroom of a Cracker Barrel. It wasn't that hard to change her schedule. Boiling with excitement, Joey made his way to the Walmart on that special day.
Upon seeing her, he began crying tears of joy. This was what his work had come to. The moment was approaching. He felt the pride swell in his stomach. Pride turned out to be expired shrimp he had bought at a 7-Eleven the previous day, and he immediately threw up into a nearby shopper's Nerf and Strike rifle set. Once he was able to recover and escape the wrath of Karen, the angry shopper, he made his way to the back of the store. The moment of truth had arrived. He made his way to the front of the line, waiting patiently for Demi to take her time. As she gave him a signed CD, he gave her a wink and said thank you. But he made a mistake. He said thank you just as Stewie Griffin would have said it from his first gamer tag. Demi realized that her worst nightmares had come true. She had fallen in love with her stalker, the boy who seemed to have the heart of an angel and the voice of a British toddler with a football-shaped head. She called for security. Security called the police. The police called the National Guard. The National Guard called Immigration Services. And Immigration Services immediately deported Joey to Botswana. It took Joey 2 bus rides and Uber in the Guinness World Records longest swim to finally make it back to Denver. But to Joey, it was worth it. This had been the best 6th birthday ever.
That was so good.
That was 1,033 words.
Oh my gosh. That
We
was so
spent
funny.
so much time on that. Oh my gosh, it's so dumb, but I love it so much.
So good. Now everyone knows the true story of me meeting Demi Lovato.
Yeah, so we're glad we were able to retell that story and to let everybody know how it really went down. You know?
It's a pretty traumatic experience for a 6-year-old.
Yeah, dude, that's you got into the game pretty young, man.
Yeah, I did. It was a rough time in my life. I just had gotten back from the Kids' Choice Awards and got like a lot of swagger. I just thought I was on top of the world, man. I was trying to chase too many things at once.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a pretty crazy story for 6-year-old Joey to be going through. But you know, he made it work. Tell us about Botswana. What was it like there?
Botswana. Never thought I'd hear that name again. It was.
That's all you had, wasn't it?
Botswana. So humid, hot, full of mosquitoes and terrorists. It was the ultimate place for me to be not with Demi Lovato. Taught me a lot of things. I learned how to shave my nipple hair. I learned how to hack into the NSA. I also learned how to get over my obsession with Demi Lovato. So ultimately, it was good for me, but also a very scary experience.
Mm.
Hey, just off the top of your head, what's the capital of Botswana again?
Uruguay.
Yep, that's it. Perfect. Good work, Joey.
Thanks.
All right. Well, Unless anybody has other comments, I think that's it for today's show. Does anybody have comments?
I thought the capital of Botswana was Bangkok.
No, that's Thailand.
Mm. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Uruguay.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah,
right.
For those relying on this podcast for reliable information, first of all, why? But second of all, the actual capital of Botswana is Gaborone.
Oh,
Yeah. Do you know that?
I didn't. I should have because I was there from
Yeah.
age 6 to 7, but
Or,
no.
alrighty. Well, that's it for this episode of the podcast, guys. Just a couple of final reminders. Please remember to subscribe on whatever medium you listen to, whether that's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any other podcast app. You can check out our YouTube channel to see any visual content you may have missed from today's episode. And remember to subscribe. If you want to reach out to us, odds are, if you're listening, you have probably at least one of our phone numbers, so you can call us or text us, or email us at cargoshortsboys@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. And we will, until next time, we are the Cargo Shorts Boys. Stay classy, internets.
Cargo Shorts Boys Podcast. Fun!
It's the Cargo Shorts Boys Podcast.